Use code PAID10 for 10% off your next order of Advanced GG. In today's Destiny 2 video, we're going to be going over the best auto rifles to be using in Act 3 of Episode Echoes. Why are we talking about auto rifles? Well, Bungie is updating the artifact and is adding a bunch of artifact mods that center around auto rifles. So auto rifles are going to be necessary in the endgame. So I got a list of all the best ones that you guys should give a try. Now first off, let's go over the mods that are coming with Act 3. In the first column, we got Overload Auto Rifle. Uninterrupted fire from your equipped auto rifle grants bullets that stun combatants, delaying ability regeneration and lowering combatant damage output, strong against overload champions. Additionally, auto rifles are always overcharged when this modifier is active. Then in column 3, they're adding the Sustained Fire mod. Continuously damaging combatants with an auto rifle grants you damage resistance. In column 4, we have Targeting Autoloader. While you have an auto rifle equipped, defeating combatants reloads your equipped weapon and temporarily increases weapon damage. Awards bonus progress when dealing final blows while surrounded. And then in column 5, when you have an Arc or Prismatic subclass equipped, Arc Final Blows while you are amplified summon a burst of lightning that damages and jolts targets. So the new mods are all about auto rifles, and it's going to benefit you greatly to be dealing that arc damage. So we're going to be talking mainly about arc auto rifles. Although there are some good kinetic ones that I will mention. Now first up, starting off the list, I want to talk about the Ark Logic legendary Arc Energy auto rifle. Adaptive frame firing at 600 rounds per minute. You can actually target farm this weapon right now. I do believe you have to have the Shadowkeep DLC, but you can go head on over to the lectern at the moon and you can pick up a bounty so that once you complete it, you get this auto rifle to drop. It comes with these perks right here. And the reason I think this auto rifle is going to be really good is because you can actually roll the perk Surrounded. While you're within 15 meters of 3 enemies, it's going to give you a 40% increase to damage, which is an insane buff. And the new artifact perk in column 4, Targeting Autoloader, is going to temporarily increase your weapon damage, and it's going to award bonus progress when dealing final blows while surrounded. So it's going to be like surrounded times 2. So definitely check out the Ark Logic. I'm calling it right now. It's going to be pretty cracked if you get that surrounded plus the artifact mod procced at the same time. Then next up, we got to talk about the Centrifuge, which people on Twitter are already pretty hyped about. It's an exotic auto rifle, fires at 450 rounds per minute, comes with the perk Overcharge Capacitor. Sprinting, sliding, and firing with this weapon builds a temporary electrostatic charge, increasing range and reload speed. Final blows with high charge cause explosions, and maximum charge explosions blind targets. And it also comes with regenerative motion. Sprinting gradually reloads this weapon, and it also has an exotic catalyst. Upon completion, it's going to make the auto rifle perform better while you're amplified, which is going to pair really well with the artifact perk Shock and Awe, which remember states that arc final blows while you are amplified summon a burst of lightning that damages and jolts targets. So not only will the Centrifuge be able to blind targets with those blinding explosions, but now this auto rifle will also be able to jolt targets, which makes this exotic just even better than it already is. This was a season pass reward, so I do believe you can pick it up from the kiosk, but correct me if I am wrong on that because I'm not 100% sure. Then next up, I want to talk about another exotic auto rifle called the Necrochasm. This one is only obtainable through the Crota's End raid. Comes with the exotic perk Cursebringer. Precision final blows with this weapon trigger a Cursed Thrall explosion and increase reload speed for a short time. Final blows with Cursed Thrall explosions refill the magazine. And it also has the Desperation trait perk. Reloading after a precision final blow or a final blow with a Cursed Thrall explosion increases your rate of fire and improve stability and aim assist. This is one of the best auto rifles in the game, and next season you're going to be able to stun overload champions. It's going to be really good in Grandmasters. This weapon also has an exotic catalyst called One for Thrall. Hitting 3 separate targets increases damage, range, and handling, and aim assist for a moderate duration. I'm definitely going to be using the Necrochasm when Act 3 starts, and you should too. And while we're on the subject of exotic auto rifles, the Tommy's Matchbook is looking pretty juicy for next season. Once again, this is a season pass auto rifle, so I do believe you can pick it up from the kiosk. Comes with the exotic perk Ignition Trigger. Sustained fire with this weapon overheats it and increases the damage, but burning the user. And then you also have Heat Sink. Overheat damage is reduced while not aiming down sights. And this one also comes with an exotic catalyst, While ignition trigger is active, your health recovers more quickly and sustained fire scorches your target. So I do believe, since it's an auto rifle, it'll stun overload champions in Act 3, and if you get enough scorch hits on a target, you'll cause them to ignite, so they'll also be able to stun unstoppable champions. I'm pretty sure that's the way it works. So with the Tommy's Matchbook, you could get a 2-for-1, which is going to be really nice next season. Definitely keep your eyes on Tommy's Matchbook. Then up next, we got to talk about the Breakneck auto rifle, which is a precision frame 450 rounds per minute auto rifle. This one drops from the Gambit playlist, and you can focus this over with the Drifter at the tower. This auto rifle comes with one of my favorite perk combinations in the game, and that is Subsistence and Kinetic Tremors. Kinetic Tremors states that sustained kinetic damage to a target emits a shockwave that damages any nearby targets, and Subsistence, defeating targets, partially reloads the magazine from reserves. The reason I like this combination so much is because the Kinetic Tremor explosion can defeat combatants, and those defeated combatants will proc the Subsistence, so you can literally just hold down the trigger and it'll just keep auto reloading this auto rifle, which is pretty nice. And like I said, you can focus this with Drifter over at the tower, so it's pretty easy to get your hands on the Breakneck. The only downside to this auto rifle is that you have to play Gambit. Next up, we have the Prosecutor auto rifle. Once again, a precision frame, does arc damage, and this one is going to be dropping from the Prophecy Dungeon, and it drops from the first encounter. And the first encounter in the Prophecy Dungeon, very easy to farm this over and over again, so you can just keep getting these Prosecutor auto rifles to drop. This auto rifle comes with a ton of great perks. Most notably, it comes with the Volt Shot perk in the last column. Reloading this weapon after defeating a target overcharges this weapon for a short period of time, causing it to jolt on its next hit. Jolt is one of the best perks in the game for Ark subclasses, and since the artifact is all about Ark auto rifles next season, the Prosecutor auto rifle is definitely one you should consider farming for. It's going to be doing really good in Act 3 of Echoes. Then next up, we have an auto rifle that I don't see a lot of people talking about, and it is called the Dark Decider. It's a rapid fire frame firing at 720 rounds per minute, and this is actually an Iron Banner auto rifle. And you might think that this is a PvP weapon, and while it does have some good PvP rolls, this auto rifle also rolls with the perk Volt Shot, which, like I said earlier, is the best Ark perk in the game. And you also have the basic origin trait Vice Stinger, or damaging an enemy with this weapon has a small chance to reload the magazine. I definitely think you guys should check your vault to see if you guys have a Dark Decider with Volt Shot on it, and if you do, I think it's going to be performing pretty well next season. The only downside to this auto rifle, it's only available whenever Iron Banner's around, and Iron Banner isn't here all too much. But once it is around, I do believe you can focus this weapon over with Lord Saladin at the tower. Now last on our list, we got to talk about the Come to Pass auto rifle. It's a high impact frame auto rifle, does arc damage, fires at 360 rounds per minute. Now I do believe you have to own the Witch Queen DLC, but once you do and you unlock this weapon, it is fully craftable, so you can craft it to your liking. This weapon rolls with some pretty nice damage perks. It doesn't come with Volt Shot, but you got things like Golden Tricorn for a 50% increase to weapon damage. You got One for All for a 35% increase to weapon damage. And you also have things like Dragonfly. This is definitely a good auto rifle and definitely one to consider using next season when Act 3 starts up. So Guardians, that's going to do it for my list. I know I missed some Ark auto rifles, but I didn't want this video to be too long. We got honorable mentions here like the Shadow Price, which is also an Ark auto rifle that can get Volt Shot. We also have the Sweet Sorrow auto rifle that I didn't go over. So let me know down in the comments if I didn't mention your favorite auto rifle that you're going to be using next season. With all that being said, if you guys are new here and found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed the content. Follow me over on Twitch for the live streams, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.